This film is a dramatization of a true story based on Peter Riley's statements to police, court transcripts, and eyewitness accounts.
I'll get the rest of it.
Okay.
You stock up the kitchen.
Okay. Where's Annie?
She's over here.
Come on, Annie. I'll get a New York Times.
No. We left that behind us, remember?
Okay. Come on. Ooh. You're getting heavier.
With the price of chuck roast, if Barney doesn't get a deer this winter, the Parsons family's going to turn vegetarian.
I know what you mean, Rita. I think I'll have a lamb chop.
You want to ride?
Dee-dum, dum, dee-dum, dum, dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Dee-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Dee-dum, bum, bum. Dee-dum, bum, 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 bum. L'amour, t'attend, olé! Bye.
Would you look at that money? Those welfare people just give them all handouts.
Hi, boys.
Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, we're late. Can I have the keys?
They're in the car. Where are you going?
Teen Center, band practice.
You be home early. You're my witness.
Mom, I'm 18, okay?
You look nice. Give me a kiss.
I won't be late. Night, Mark.
Night, Cliff.
Coming in? No, Mom's waiting for me. I better head home.
There's Peter Riley.
Peter Riley? Who's he?
You know, that Santa Barbara, when he's drunk all the time.
Oh, God, that's slob.
Hey, Mom, I'm home.
You call a doctor and we will be right there. Barney! Something's happened to Peter's mother! He needs an ambulance.
Is she still breathing?
I think she's almost stopped.
Don't you know anything about artificial respiration?
No.
I'll contact the police.
B-18, I have a signal 2 on Route 63.
B-18, 10-4 en route.
What's happened to her, Pete? She's in the bedroom.
Where is she?
In the bedroom.
I got a possible 125 out here.
You gotta be kidding.
Fred, we're gonna do that stretcher. No, I'm not kidding. You better get out here.
Okay, seal the place off.
Hey, guys, better put that over here.
Can I come home with you?
Yes, yes, of course. Cliff, give me your coat.
Right now. What? Get the sign. Who? Is anybody there? Get a statement from him.
The kid called you, right?
Yes, sir.
You all right, son? All right, let's clear this place out. Stand up. Open up your shirt. Hands. All right. I told you to move up. Come on.
These are your constitutional rights, Peter. You're gonna have to read these before you make a statement.
Am I a suspect?
No, it's just routine. Is that the kid?
Right there.
Show me your hands.
Who's he?
That's the head guy, Lieutenant Bragdon.
Yeah? I'd like to be a state trooper.
Who the hell put that here? Bring the kid in. Take off your clothes. All of them off.
Lieutenant, the door's been forced the wrong way.
We usually keep it closed.
Arms over your head. Get dressed. Put him back in the car.
What the hell is going on? The lieutenant's making the investigation, Rita.
Barney, it's 1:30. Had that boy for 3 hours. He was just sitting there in that police car.
It's a murder investigation. The police have to be thorough. I mean, Peter found a body.
David, look, that boy is cold and hungry and exhausted. Now, why can't we take him home, feed him, and then you can come talk to him tomorrow?
Lieutenant Bragdon's in charge, Rita. He's just told me to take the boy down to the station and get his statement. I'll bring him up to your house just as soon as we're through.
We're gonna wait.
There's no need. I'll run him right up to you, Barney, just as soon as the lieutenant's done.
David Miles, now you know Peter. Now, I am trusting you to look after that boy's well-being. He's in a state of shock. Don't you worry, Peter. We'll take care of everything.
You want a cup of coffee, Peter?
Oh, no, thanks. I don't like it. Is there any place I can lie down?
Not just yet. Lieutenant Bragdon will be down, and after you talk with him, then you can get some rest.
Peter, I'd like you to remove your left shoe, please.
What for?
Lieutenant wants to check a foot mark. Dave, Miranda card. Just routine. I'd like you to read this.
Am I being charged with something?
No.
Yeah, I've already read it.
Peter, I'd like to talk to you man to man.
I'm so tired right now, I can hardly think.
Yeah, I know. We're all tired. Come on. Sit down.
Will I be here very long?
Yeah, you'll be here a while.
Can I put my shoe back on?
No. Your mother's name was Gibbons. Is she your stepmother?
No, my real mother. She told me one time that she got raped in New York City and that the man was my father.
It's a rough way to start.
She said she didn't know his name, so she just picked Riley for me out of thin air, Peter Riley.
When you arrived home, was your mother alive?
She was breathing but having trouble. She was unconscious.
Go on, go ahead. That's normal.
No, I was really shaken. We were very close.
You had a mother like that, you'd probably do the same thing.
Peter didn't do it. I know him. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yet you didn't go near her.
Near her?
See how she was. Touch her. Wouldn't that be the normal thing to do?
Well, I didn't know what to do. I just thought it would be best to hit the phone.
How did you feel about your mother, Peter? Deep down.
I loved her.
Yet you haven't shed a tear.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Am I a suspect?
Yes.
Then could I have a lie detector test?
I think that's a good idea. I'll set one up for you. But first, I think a little sleep is in order, huh?
Both thigh bones broken. That about wraps it up.
Those broken legs. How could that have ever happened?
Perhaps jumping up and down hard.
Come on, Peter, it's almost noon. We have to go to district headquarters in Hartford.
Why Hartford?
The lie detector test, remember? Come on, let's get going.
Okay, Pete, I want you to take a seat right over there. This is what we call the seat of honor. Now, you want to lean forward for me just a little bit? Sit. Now, this device measures your breathing. Okay? And this, let me have your arm. This measures your blood pressure and your pulse. Now, it's very important because the heart is the only muscle in your body that you can't control.
Right.
Now, Pete, there are three things that we can say here today. We can say that you told us the truth, we can say you didn't tell us the truth, or we can say that there's some mental or physical problem. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now just relax. I'm gonna go get Sergeant Scully. He's the guy that does the examination.
She was in here yesterday afternoon and cashed a check for $100.
I heard she had men in and out of there like a revolving door. Not just men.
Oh, excuse me, I'll be with you in a moment.
People can't help talking. Barbara Gibbons was the town character. And in this town, people know when you part your hair.
So I gather.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
That help you?
Which one, please?
Pete, how are you?
Okay, and you?
Good. Tim Scully is my name. Sergeant Scully, State Police.
Pleased to meet you.
Know why you're here, Pete?
Well, I guess to determine whether the things in my statement are true.
Right, right. Now, last night you gave a statement up in Canaan. I'm going to run over the thing again. This is a new day. I'm a new person, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you have any suspicion as to who would hurt your mother last night?
Maybe an alcoholic. An alcoholic will do anything.
Or somebody that has a mental problem. A person might have a mental problem and do something that they're sorry for afterwards. They've taken a life, but they can't help themselves.
Right.
Things just snap. Suddenly, a few hours later, they're back to normal again.
What, you mean like a split personality?
Right. Now, I'm going to run over the questions before we start. Now, if I ask you on the polygraph, do you know for sure who hurt your mother last night? What would you answer?
No.
Pete, I'm not trying to trick you.
Well, even if you are, it's for the better.
Well, I'm not in no way trying to trick you.
Okay, right, I understand.
That's why we talk these questions over, to make sure that you understand. Now, next question. Last night, did you hurt your mother?
No.
They had to take her to the hospital and examine her.
But they performed an autopsy, right?
Right. Yeah. She had 2 broken legs.
She did? Didn't know that.
Yeah, just above the knees. So it looks like she had to be hit with something. I broke my leg playing football. It's a different situation. I'm sure your mother doesn't play football. From what the fellas say, you got along fairly well with your mother, right?
Sometimes we had arguments.
It's a normal thing. I argue with my wife. Everybody gets into arguments. Pete, I don't know if you're involved in what happened here last night or not. I mean, that's why you're here. If I knew that, I could read your brain. And if I could read your brain, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be a millionaire. That's why I have this. It reads your brain for me.
Wait a minute. Does that actually read my brain?
Definitely. Definitely. And if you've told me the truth, this is what your brain is going to tell me.
Will this stand out to protect me?
Right.
Good, because that's why I came down here to take the test, for protection. Well, let's go.
We don't rush here, Pete. Take our time. No place to go. Now, get back to the questions. If you committed this thing last night, if you hurt your mother, it'd be a rather shameful thing, right?
Right.
If you're lying to me about last night, that would be shameful too, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it'd be ridiculous for me to come down here and volunteer for this test if I was lying.
Let me say something, Pete. I've had people here who've committed serious things, as serious as this. It wasn't a vicious thing that they did. They just couldn't help themselves. I've had people actually come in here, take this test, because they knew they were guilty. And they didn't know how to tell somebody. They were looking for somebody to help them. Maybe you're looking for somebody to help you.
What do you mean?
Say you did this thing last night, Say you hurt your mother. Maybe you're looking for the polygraph to help you.
Rita, what is it that's really upsetting you? I don't know. I mean, it's something I just can't put my finger on. I'm probably being very silly, but something's wrong. I called up 3 times this morning and got nowhere. And finally, I just spoke right up. I said, could you give me some straight answers, please? Why didn't you bring that boy home last night? He said, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't know. Teresa, I hung up that phone. I stood there. I was so mad I could spit.
Is anybody else being questioned, do you know?
I don't know. And that's what's so awful. I don't know anything. It's as though Peter walked off the edge of the earth.
Or was led off? Look, I get off work at 4 today. I'll stop by your house, okay?
Okay, fine. In the meantime, if I hear anything, I'll call you.
Good.
Excuse me, but I'm upset, and when I'm upset, I talk too loud.
Well, it's an upsetting thing to happen, not what you expect in Canaan.
Oh. Well, did you know Barbara or Peter?
No, we're new to the area. Joan Barthel.
Hi, I'm Rita Parsons.
Nice to meet you.
Well, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know, Barbara was weird, but Peter's a good kid. He really is. Where are you from?
New York.
What brings you to Canaan?
Oh, Jim and I, that's my husband, Jim. We decided we'd had enough of the rat race in the city. You know how that gets. We thought this might be a nice, pleasant place to stay.
You or your husband wouldn't be lawyers by any chance?
No. Jim works on Wall Street, but he'd rather be a photographer. I'm a writer. Say, why are they still keeping the boy, Peter?
I can't get a reason. The angrier I get, the nicer they get. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, we'll call you ma'am.
Why don't you just go down there to the police station?
I've lived in this town 32 years and never set foot inside the place.
You don't want to hang out there.
Look, I don't suppose... Look, you know your way around, being a writer, right? Would you go with me?
All right. I just have to go home and drop these off, but I'll meet you there in 20 minutes. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Test is about to begin. Is your first name Peter?
Yes.
You were born in the United States?
Yes.
Last night, you know for sure how your mother got hurt?
No.
Are you wearing a brown shirt?
Yes.
Last night, did you hurt your mother?
No.
Is the statement you made to the police the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Now sit quietly for 10 seconds.
Well, how'd I do?
You're very cooperative, let me say that. This is just a warm-up to show you you're not going to get electrocuted.
Well, does it look like I was lying to you?
That wouldn't be fair for me to say. You're nervous. Did any of the questions bother you?
Well, about whether I harmed my mother or not.
Why?
Well, the police station. They told me how some people don't realize, all of a sudden fly off the handle for a split second. It leaves a blank spot in their memory.
Right. This could bring it out. Help this.
Well, I don't know. I thought about that last night. And I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I said, no, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. And now, when you ask me the question...
Pete, let me say this one thing. If you did this, this is probably how it could have happened.
What do you mean?
Bango. Just like this. I've met a hell of a lot of people in my life. If you did it, it was a split-second thing you did. You lost your head. Who knows why? Maybe you and your mother got into an argument, one thing led to another, and she attacked you. I don't know. Could have been an accident with her last night, right?
Right.
Good. Now, I'm going to ask you the very same questions again.
Why, though?
If you broke an arm and you went to a doctor, he wouldn't take one X-ray, huh? He would take several before he set your arm. Now, try to relax. Is your first name Peter?
Yes.
You were born in the United States?
Yes.
Last night, you know for sure how your mother got hurt?
No.
He's a good little actor. My first instinct said he did it, and my first instincts are 9 out of 10 times right.
Do you have a clear recollection as to what happened here last night?
Yes.
Is there any doubt in your mind, Pete?
Can you stop the test?
Okay.
I didn't understand that last question.
I think we got a little problem here, Peter.
Good afternoon, officer.
Afternoon, ladies.
My name is Joan Barthel, and this is Rita Parsons. We'd like to see Peter Riley, please.
Well, that's not possible, ma'am.
Well, why not? It's 3:30, and you've had that boy since 10 o'clock last night. I've got him some fresh clothes, so why can't we see him?
The investigation is ongoing.
Who's representing Peter Riley in this matter?
I'm not at liberty to give out any information.
You mean you can't tell us whether or not he has a lawyer? You are familiar with the Miranda decision, aren't you?
Every police officer in America is, ma'am.
Is there somebody in charge here? Is there a captain or something?
They're in Hartford, ma'am.
Isn't the boy being questioned here?
They took him to Hartford.
Why?
I believe it's for a lie detector test.
Listen, if he doesn't have a lawyer, he better get one fast.
What's the Miranda decision?
Well, you've seen it on television, you know. They pull out the card and they say, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to...
I didn't do it!
You're giving me a reaction. Do you have any doubt in your mind?
Can you reword the question in any way?
Which question?
About hurting my mother. I mean, look, we went over it and over it and over it, you know what I mean? And, when they told me that I could have flown off the handle like that, you know, I gave it a lot of consideration. But I still don't think I did it.
But you're not sure, are you?
That's right.
Why did you say here a moment ago you're not sure if you hurt your mother last night?
Wait a minute. You're confusing me.
I'm not trying to, Pete. You said here a moment ago you had doubt in your mind if you flew off the handle last night, and you don't recollect.
Well, it doesn't seem like me. I've never flown off the handle before.
It was always the first time. Are you afraid that you did this thing?
Well, yes, of course I am. That's natural.
Well, then let's get this ironed out so we can see what we can salvage out of this thing.
I don't understand you.
I think you hurt your mother, from what I'm seeing here.
I don't!
Then why the reaction?
Maybe it's just nervousness. I mean, my mom did die.
All right, I'll buy that.
Look, I want to take another test. Rather than going by this one. Well, how about the first one, when you ran it the first time?
First test, we normally don't look at them. Pete, right here about your mother, you're giving me a reaction. I'm going to take these across the hall. I want Jack to look at them.
Wait a minute. Have you ever been proven totally wrong? I mean, just from nervousness, a person responds that way.
No. A polygraph can never be wrong because it's only a recording instrument recording from you.
I'm getting tired.
I'll be right back.
Is it legal for the police to keep somebody this long?
It's legal as long as they inform him of his rights. I still think he needs an attorney.
What kind of writing do you do, Joan?
Mostly entertainment pieces. I freelance whenever I find a story.
What worries me so much about Peter is that he's so polite. He'd never argue with the police.
Did he ever argue with his mother?
Oh, sure. Barbara could be a pain.
She could be a lot of fun, too. They liked each other. I mean, of course, they'd argue, and he'd come over here and say he wanted to stay, and then Barbara would call, and he'd go back and say his mother needed him.
What he really needed was a father.
Speaking of fathers, the father of my daughter is going to start wondering where I am. Thanks for the coffee, Rita.
Thanks for going with me.
Let me know what happens.
Do you know what Barbara told him? That when she lived in New York, she was raped, so she didn't know who his father was.
And he believed her.
It's hard to say what Peter believes, or thinks, or feels. You know, I went to hug him once, and he just stood there. I mean, not stiff, but limp, like he didn't know how to express his feelings.
Can I give you a lift?
Oh, thanks, Claire. Jim's cooking dinner in honor of our move. He's a great cook.
Lucky you. Barney's idea of cooking is pastrami on rye. You drive careful.
Bye. Cliff, you were with Peter Riley at the teen center, weren't you?
Yes.
Was he there the whole 2 hours?
From 7:30 to 9:30.
And he never left?
Never. We were rehearsing together. Anybody who was there can back me up.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
Same clothes he had on last night when the police busted him.
But there was a lot of blood at his place.
It was a slaughterhouse. Just being there, you'd think he'd have some blood on him, but he didn't. He was totally clean.
Peter? I think we got a problem. Bill feels the same way. We go strictly by the charts, and the charts say you hurt your mother last night.
The thing is, I don't remember it.
Charts don't say that, Pete. You hurt your mother last night. How? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Then why does the lie chart say you did?
I don't know. I can't give you a definite answer.
Why?
Look, your chart says I did. I still say I didn't.
This thing is so violent, maybe you don't want to remember. Something happened to your mother last night. And one thing led to another. And some way, you accidentally hurt her seriously.
But how?
I don't know, Peter. You were there. I wasn't.
Look, would it definitely be me? I mean, could it have been somebody else?
No way from these reactions.
I want to go back to school.
As long as you don't get this straightened out in your mind, you'll never have a day of peace.
Gotta get it straightened out right now. I don't have any place to go.
Right. Once we do this, we're halfway home. There's no doubt in my mind from these jots you did it. But why and how?
That's what I don't know. I mean, if I did it, I don't remember. What I told you is exactly how I remember it. Is there any way you can kind of pound it out of me?
Peter.
Well, not pound it out of me, but dig deeper into me.
This is what we're trying to do here. I think you can give me an answer if you want to. You just feel it by sitting here and denying it and denying it and denying it that it's going to go away.
I'm not purposely denying it. I mean, if I did it, I wish I knew I'd done it. I'd be more than happy to admit it if I knew, if I could remember, but I don't remember.
How are we going to solve this?
I don't want to go into a mental hospital.
Is that what's worrying you, Peter? You might go into a mental hospital?
The thing is, I don't remember it. And if I did it, why don't I remember it?
Because your mind is trying to tell you...
Block it out? No, I don't think I'm any kind of a dummy.
Oh, I don't think you're a dummy. I think something happened, and you're so damned ashamed, you're afraid to come out with it.
This morning, when I went to sleep, I dreamed that I hadn't gone to the teen center last night. I stayed home, and somebody broke into the house. And I was trying to protect my mom. I don't remember that clearly either. But I want to find out.
I think you know now.
Could it be that I've totally put it out of my memory?
Right. This is our problem. Once we get this out in the open and get you the proper help, it'll be over with. First of all, we gotta know, do we have a cold-blooded killer sitting here? Or do we have a guy with a problem that needs to be straightened out?
You don't have a cold-blooded killer sitting here.
Then we have a guy with a problem. Let me speak from experience. Pete, we had a girl here about 8 years ago. She was 17, probably 25 today. She had this hang-up about burning down all her relatives' homes. Yeah. She denied it for I don't know how long. Finally, she admitted it. She's a normal person today, married, with a family. We still get Christmas cards from her.
Yeah?
Yeah. She signs it. Underneath, she puts thanks. 3 months out of your life. It's not the end of the world.
But, missing band practice.
If you don't get yourself straightened out, you're going to screw up the band worse. You're going to be strumming away some night, and you're going to be off key. Now, you went into the house, you saw your mother. Lying in bed or standing there?
Lying in bed. It seemed, you know, like a double take.
Possibly she said something to you, where you've been all night, she called you names, and you went off the handle.
No, it's still not coming through.
Why don't I let you sit here for a few minutes and meditate by yourself?
I'm so damned exhausted.
Yeah, but we're on to something now. I might be confusing you. I'm just gonna step out.
I'm just gonna fall asleep.
No, you won't. I bet you don't fall asleep. Peter, I just called the investigators up in Canaan. They spoke to your friends. Every one of them said that your mother was always on your back. Now, isn't it true that last night, after you came home, she started moaning and hopping and nagging. And you lost control?
It seems like that's what would have happened. Yeah, but I don't remember it happening. Somewhere in my head, a straight razor sticks in.
Okay. What did you do with the straight razor?
Well, it's not that I had it. It's that there was a straight razor in the house.
Right now, go out to the house, pick up a straight razor, anything else you can find.
I believe I did it.
I know you did it. How does a straight razor come in?
I don't know. We got it for model airplanes.
Hey, I have one, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
I build boat models.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Got it. It looks clean to me, though. No sign of blood on it. Hey, look at this. Tip's broken off.
They're ready for you, sir.
Hi, Pete.
Hi. Well, it looks like maybe I did it. The thing is, I must have flown off the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tired.
Mm-hmm. His mother's been on his back for a couple of years, Lieutenant. Nag this, nag that.
Every day.
Yeah. He came home last night and she started in on him.
We must have had an argument, and I remember grabbing for the straight razor off the thing. I think it was the straight razor.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
You say you used a straight razor, Pete?
Yeah.
What about a knife, Pete? Remember using a knife?
I don't, but a straight razor thing registers.
And a knife?
Maybe. Could you give me some details?
I think you know all the details.
Well, I'm not absolutely sure yet.
I understand. You're tired. You know, Pete, we on the state police here, we're not your enemies.
I know.
If we can help you, and I know we can, we will help you.
Before I start going over this, I've got to have someone to turn to.
Sure, now you've got us to turn to.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, the first step
Is to break things down?
is to break this thing down, right? Take the bull by the horns, trust people.
Okay.
All right,
Right on the level now.
right on the level.
I think I did it.
Pete, you don't have to be afraid to say, I did it.
But I'd be incriminating myself by saying I did.
We have right now, without a word out of your mouth, proof positive
That I did it?
that you did it.
So, okay, then I guess I might as well say I did it.
Pete, you and I try something, huh? You try and feel about me
Like a father?
like somebody who's really interested in you.
It was a dream. I was hoping I could find someone. Like maybe you'd be willing to help me?
Sure, maybe.
Anything, because nobody really...
Go ahead, Pete, go ahead. Cry. Let it go. Let it go, Pete.
Nobody's really right there to help me. Never.
I know it. I know it. Maybe I can get you some help, Pete. Why don't you cry? You know you've been trying to cry for 2 days now.
Yeah, I have.
Sure you have.
Well, I haven't cried till I found someone to turn to.
I'm going to tell you something, Pete. You may find it hard to believe, but I don't feel sorry for your mother. I I feel sorry for you. Because you've been a victim for years.
Is there a chance you could take me in to live with you?
Sure. A chance.
I'd do anything. I'd work around the house. I'd do chores.
What about the knife, Pete?
There may have been a knife, but I don't recollect it as well. Why do you ask me about a knife?
You know there was a knife.
Well, was there a knife mark?
You know the facts as well as I know the facts.
No, I don't.
Sure you do. You know, as long as you keep playing these head games with me, you're not trusting me.
I'll go right in there on that polygraph machine again.
Come on, Pete. You're playing head games again.
No.
Sure you are. You're
No,
playing
no.
head games, Pete. You've been playing head games. You know it and I know it.
I don't know it.
Come on, Pete. Pete, your mother's dead. She's dead. Now, this could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Now, tell me about the knife.
Look, I don't know anything about a knife. Look, what is the difference between me saying something about a razor or saying something about a knife? I mean, either way, I'm still saying I did it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, if I made a mistake about the razor, then maybe I did. But I don't remember a knife. I've been trying to get this across to you all day. I do not remember a knife.
How did your mother's clothes get wet, Pete? All right, it's getting late. You're tired. We're all tired. We're going to reduce what you said to writing. Just try to cover what you told us.
No, wait a second. Can this statement be used against me?
Well, sure it can.
Well, then why should I say something I'm not sure of if it can be used against me?
Peter, I'm only here to take your statement.
Well, can you say I'm not sure?
Yeah, whatever you tell me, I'll put it onto here.
Okay. Then I want you to say this whole statement that I make, I'm not sure of.
Now listen to yourself, Pete. You're playing head games again. I've been fooling around with you for hours here. I don't want you to go and treat me like some kind of jerk.
I'm not.
All right, then. I don't want you to play any more head games here. You know, we can make this very difficult for you, Pete. You want to continue to play this way? We'll take you and lock you up and treat you just like an animal. Now, let's stop the nonsense and get going here, huh? Come on. You know, our design is not to hurt you, Pete. Our design is to help you. We know what your mother's reputation is. I'm not even saying you're wrong in doing what you did. Now, let's proceed. You walked through the door.
Walked through the door.
And
I saw my mother.
Was she lying down in bed or standing up?
That was the double take right there.
there is no such thing as a double take. There is no double take. You are not a camera. You're a human being.
Okay, Peter, you want to read this over for me, please?
Where do I sign?
Right here at the bottom.
Can you put in that I'm not sure?
Okay, Peter.
All done?
Mm-hmm. One more thing, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Go in and get from the kid. What's the worst thing he did to his mother?
Here's one.
Good. I'll get it.
Okay.
Hello? Rita. Confessed? When? Well, we were just about to go out. Oh, I suppose I could, but for a minute. That's all right. Okay. All right, bye.
Who's that?
Oh, that was Rita Parsons. I told you about her. I had tea at her house yesterday.
Oh, yeah, tea, right. Okay, let's go.
That boy, Peter Riley, confessed to murdering his mother. Rita's very upset. She wanted to know if I could come over for a minute. I said I would.
Come on, you promised your daughter a picnic today.
You're right. I'll just call her back. You too.
Hey, Joan, if you want to go, go.
Don't be silly. I'll just call her back.
How come a nice kid like you winds up in here? You don't trust nobody, do you? Want some gum?
Thanks.
You can tell me. We're all in this together.
Well, it's kind of a blur, like a dream. And I keep thinking maybe I'll wake up. The thing is, they say I murdered my mother.
Come on. You're just a kid. You didn't admit that, did you? You got a lawyer, right? You did call a lawyer.
No, I haven't made any calls. I haven't talked to anybody except the police.
You want advice?
Yeah.
Right now, right this damn minute, you get a lawyer. They grab you for anything, you shut your mouth. You don't talk to nobody. You get a phone and you call a lawyer. Hey, Charlie, I need a phone book.
Mildred Karsten is who I want. Yeah. Oh, and one other thing. Well, when this whole thing is over, will I still be welcome in your home?
What do you mean?
They say I need psychological help.
Peter, you will always be welcome with us. Always. Yes, we'll get on to Miss Karsten. Bye-bye. Do you know what he asked me? If he'd still be welcome here? What have they got him believing?
Lord only knows. But you know what he's like. He's just a little boy. Police can make him say or do anything they want to. He sees a uniform, he'll stand up and salute it.
Who is this Mildred Karsten, Mom?
It's who he wants for his lawyer. What do you think, Barney?
Mildred Carson's a damn fine lawyer. She's certainly not afraid of controversial causes.
She's from one of the oldest families here.
That's right.
She's not exactly popular around here.
Thank you. I'm Mildred Karsten.
I didn't think you'd come.
I was up country when I got your message. I came as fast as I could. May I speak to my client? I just have one question for you. Did you do it?
No, ma'am. I did not.
Good. And we can work together.
I don't have much money, though. But I could sell my guitar and amplifier.
We'll deal with that later. The question at the moment is to get you out of jail. Good morning, Thomas. Lieutenant Bragdon.
Miss Karsten. Good morning,
Sorry to be
Mildred.
late.
Good morning.
The car broke down on the way from the country. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Don't worry about it. We're going to have a very interesting case in this one. Tom.
I have here the testimony from various impressive members of this community. The state is asking for a bail of $100,000. Ms. Karsten, for the defense, is asking for just $5,000 bail. I have decided that the figure of $50,000 would be the most suitable.
Might as well be $1 million.
That's for sure.
Look, let's not get discouraged before we start. We're here to show our support for the boy and to try and raise his bail.
There must be some reason they're holding him so long. Do you suppose the police know something that we don't know?
And what is that supposed to mean? Are you insinuating...
Calm down, Rita.
Take it easy, all right? Now, let's face it. Some people in this town feel that the police must have an ironclad case.
A lot of people won't want to decide one way or another. They won't want to get involved.
Well, neither do I, especially. But we do have to help this kid. We don't have to ask people to decide whether he's innocent or guilty.
Look, it's the treatment he got. They held that boy
We're all agreed that the boy needs us.
Yes,
that's right.
I formally propose that we call ourselves the Peter Riley Defense Committee.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agreed? We meet again here next week.
Okay.
I still say it won't be easy. People don't want to argue with the police.
We don't ask them to argue. We don't know what kind of a case the police have. And we don't know what Peter said. All we can do is signify our support for the boy.
And our belief in his innocence, unless he's proven guilty.
I made you some cookies. And Sarah Biggin sent you a jar of her home-canned peaches.
That's really nice, really. And I have a piece of good news for you.
The warden gave me permission to come out and attend Mom's funeral.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, they didn't even tell him that his mother was buried yesterday.
Oh, never mind. Maybe we can have a service of some kind.
And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. By God's mercy, we who leave here today in sorrow will be reunited in the joys of God's kingdom. Let us comfort one another in the faith of Jesus Christ. In nomine Patri, et Filii, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
Could you give us a comment, Lieutenant, on local reaction to the Barbara Gibbons case?
Well, this is a small town. This is big time, a real murder investigation. A lot of these people here, they don't know how it should be carried out. They've got to trust their police officers. You put that right there on your front page.
Thank you, Lieutenant. We'd also like a photograph.
Sure, go right ahead.
Small-town people do not understand the elements of investigation. Makes it sound like a bunch of hicks.
Let's get down to business. Mildred Carston is coming over a little later. We're here today to talk about raising money for Peter's bail.
I think it's awfully important that Peter be out of jail before the trial. I think it matters a great deal to the jurors.
Yeah, they figure if he comes in handcuffed, he's probably guilty.
That's right.
Sure, and isn't it better if he walks into court with his friends instead of looking like a prisoner?
Absolutely has to.
We can count on approximately $3,000 from pledges.
That's right. We got a bunch of checks after the Journal story last week, and only one of them bounced.
How about a bake sale? That's always good. Pies and cakes. Except it is the beginning of Lent.
No, I think God can stretch a
Well,
little
we'll just say, give up smoking, but keep on eating.
That's very good.
How about a big tag sale? I've got a lot of things I could donate.
Back in the store, I've got
I thought I'd write letters to everyone in the telephone directory. And I could begin, dear neighbor.
Oh, that's good. You can do it.
You know, I think that's really the point. We've got to get a lot more people involved. Really? Now, I, for one, am perfectly willing to go door to door, knock on doors, talk to people.
A lot of those doors are going to be slammed in your face.
Right, they'll say the kid confessed.
But only after being alone with the police for so long.
Only after that.
Yes, that's right. This has all certainly changed my attitude towards our police, believe me.
Sorry. You all know the police have a signed statement from Peter. Well, I want you to hear the so-called confession and the interrogation that led up to it. In all my years in the law, this is the most devastating document I've ever read.
Hi.
You know something? You know, if the Heron wasn't camera shy today, I'd sock you for interrupting.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but I had to come. Listen, Mildred Carstead came by. She read us Peter's interrogation. I took it down in shorthand. Wait till you hear this.
Okay, but not too loud.
Peter, does that read my brain for me? That's the lie detector. Scully, definitely, definitely. Peter, I just want to understand how it works. Scully, it works on your heartbeat because that's your conscience. And that's why the truth will be on this machine.
The kid's against the wall. And forget about this justice bull. He doesn't stand a chance.
I'm so mad I could spit. I tell you, there's a story here. There's a story here, and I'm going to write it. There's something about this town, about the people in it.
Joan, these people are hitting at windmills. You can't beat the system.
Isn't that great? How much is this?
50 cents.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Art.
Hi.
Shaving cream, the usual. Okay. Sell him any copies of this magazine?
Normally, it's a little too intellectual for local taste, but because of the story, there's a big demand for it. You want to buy a copy?
No. No, I have better things to do with my money.
Oh, I agree with you there. I stock Playboy, but that doesn't mean I like to read it.
Oh, this is beautiful. Just beautiful. But now I'd rather have my child say, I want to be a hippie bum than a policeman.
Oh, excuse me. I couldn't help but overhear your name. You're the lady who wrote that story, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, it was excellent, just excellent.
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad to see you included things about the town. We forget we have a real history here.
Oh, well, that was just background information.
It hasn't changed my mind, though. You know about the boy who confessed to that murder. Well, bye.
How much exactly do we have in both funds?
There's $4,458.75 in the bail fund. That money is returnable at the end of the trial. Then in the defense fund, there's $1,388.70, which does not include $63.60 that we used to buy Peter some new clothes.
New clothes? Why the new clothes? Why does he need new duds in jail? I thought that money was for legal fees.
Well, underwear, socks.
I suggested it. I didn't believe anyone could possibly object to Peter looking decent when he goes to court.
Look, we're getting off the track here. This internal bickering is not going to raise any money.
Let's not argue about a lousy $60 for a suit of clothes, huh? $60 is not even going to pay for Mildred Carson's gas. All right, let's add it up. 3 weeks of constant scrambling, right? Running every rinky-dink scheme known to man. We've come up with what do you got? $6,000? I mean, the trial will be over before we raise the other $44,000.
$44,000 is a lot of brownies.
I asked 10 people in the parking lot at church on Sunday. Nobody gave. So much for Christian charity.
Maybe Peter should stand in front of the church with his guitar and a paper cup.
Okay, now I wonder if the court will accept a property bond. We'll take out second mortgages on our houses. 3 or 4 average homes, we should be able to raise enough money to cover the deal. Now, Rita and I are willing to put up our house because we know Peter is not going to take off. Anybody else?
That's asking too much, Barney.
Come on, what do you say for Peter? Come on, it only hurts for a little while.
Hi.
Hi. Meeting ran late.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Oh, sad. I don't think those people are ever going to get that bail money. How was your day?
Oh, everything's fine on the home front. I had an exciting day. I played a game with Annie. She won. Put her to bed. I read 3 magazines. Somebody called for you tonight. I left a message on the kitchen board.
What
is this, some kind of a joke or something? Some lady wants to pay Peter's bail?
It's no joke. She was sincere. She read the New Times article. She was moved. She called the magazine, and she got your number.
Does she know it's $44,000?
45. I told her 45 to be on the safe side.
Yes. I don't believe it.
There it is.
You mean after all of this, some sweet lady is coming out of the woodwork to pay Peter's bail?
It looks that way.
I better call Rita. I better call her. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Hey, you know, you did it. And it's really something. It was one hell of a piece. I didn't pay much, but it's one hell of a piece.
Whether she pushed me or she picked up the razor or what, came after me, I took it away from her or what, I don't know.
The state police definitely planted ideas. He was deprived of due process.
I can't go along with you, Mildred. I've given it a lot of thought. I've decided to allow the confession as admissible evidence in court.
Look, you win one, you'll lose one, Mildred. That's life.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is your duty not to converse among yourselves or with others on any subject connected with the trial or to form or express any opinion thereon until the cause is finally submitted to you. You have one responsibility and one only, in this case before us. That responsibility is to determine whether the defendant, Peter Riley, is guilty or innocent of the specific charges the state of Connecticut brings against him. You are not to concern yourself with the penalty that such a charge might incur.
Hold it, folks.
No pictures. No pictures.
Oh, it's a relief to be shooting faces again. I think I've had it with this nature bit.
Not one of these people is from Canaan proper. They come from all over the county. Average age, 46 and a half.
Oh, it's a nice bunch of everyday Americans. They'll probably vote to hang him.
With the cuts that you saw around her throat, and the arteries that you knew were severed, and the blood you observed on the floor, how long would be the limit of her actual life?
6 minutes.
Well, with that in mind, do you have an opinion as to when the other wounds, the cuts on her back and in the abdominal area, which had very little blood at all, were inflicted, Doctor?
Yes, it does mean that those wounds were inflicted after the victim had died.
Thank you.
Wouldn't whoever inflicted all of these wounds have blood on him or her?
Not necessarily. It would depend on the position of the assailant.
What caused the fracture of the legs?
A very forceful blow.
One blow or several blows?
I don't know.
But it had to be a pretty powerful blow to break those legs.
Yes.
Could it have been caused by someone jumping on those legs?
Yes, sir, it could.
Corporal Sebastian, I show you a knife with a wooden handle. Can you identify it?
Yes, sir, I can. This is the knife I took into possession at the Gibbons home.
Objection, Your Honor. This knife was seized during a warrantless search, improper under the Fourth Amendment.
The Fourth Amendment also contains the word unreasonable, Miss Costin.
Does the state consider the knife to be the murder weapon?
I don't really know how to answer that, Your Honor. I mean, whether it was actually the weapon that caused death, I don't think I can show that. But I can show, through Dr. Samora, that this instrument will coincide with some of the markings on the body.
The jury seemed to accept that knife as the murder weapon.
You know, every time Tom lands a punches, all Mildred counters with is this constitutional human rights stuff.
I'd like to punch that smile off his face.
But the jury likes Lanza, and that's important when it comes to the vote.
Did he at any time cry?
No, sir, he did not. I was struck by the fact that he showed no emotion.
What do you mean by normal?
I just expected to find something different.
Isn't it true that you suggested that Mr. Riley was in need of some psychological help?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember Mr. Riley saying, I got to trust someone?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember saying, I don't feel sorry for your mother. I feel sorry for you because I think you've been a victim for years.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me the extent of your training in interrogation?
I attended a special interrogation seminar by Mr. Morris Cripe at the University of Maryland.
How do you spell that?
C-R-I-P-E.
One of Mr. Cripe's principles is that you should establish trust with a person, that you should get them to rely on you. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And that's what you attempted to do with Mr. Riley. You attempted to create yourself as a father figure. Did you not?
That thought did cross my mind. Yes, ma'am.
Mildred, can't you have coffee with us? Oh, gotta do my homework. Tomorrow's a school day.
Mildred, tell me the truth. How do you think it's going?
But once the jury understands that Peter's confession was involuntary and coerced, we should have no trouble. The issue here is plain. The police simply cannot function this way in a free society. It's a question of civil liberties. Don't worry now. Good night, all.
Good night,
Good night, Mildred.
Good night.
I can't help being worried. How many people know what civil liberties are, anyway?
Yeah, that's right. It's like good health. You know, you don't miss it until it's gone.
Mildred's slip was shown today.
You know, I like Mildred very much, but sometimes I wonder if she's really in touch with how the jury feels.
She should get a blackboard and spell out the time sequence for the jury.
That's right. It has to be made crystal clear. I mean, how could he leave the teen center at 9:39, go home, kill her, clean up, get everything done by 9:50? I mean, it's impossible.
Was it before or after he signed this page that Peter said to you in the statement, can you say, I'm not sure?
I don't know.
But he did say that.
Yes?
Did you tell him you would include it in the statement?
I may have.
Is it in that statement?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Mr. Riley saying to you, I don't know what to do. I'm still not positive any of it happened.
I believe he said something to that effect.
Do you remember him saying, everything I'm saying, it's like I'm making it up? I'm not sure about it?
I believe so.
And that isn't in the statement, is it?
No, ma'am.
David Miles, I've known you all your life, and there's just one thing I want to say to you. What you did is wrong, morally wrong. You have a face of an angel, but this afternoon you tore down things I've spent 67 years believing and teaching my children.
When you asked him what was the worst thing he could have done to his mother last night, did Lieutenant Bragdon ask you to ask him that question?
Yes.
Did you also ask him what else he had done to hurt his mother?
Objection, Your Honor. He's already answered that question.
He asked that question 16 times.
Objection overruled.
I don't remember the exact words.
Isn't it true? You asked him what was the worst thing he could have done to his mother 3 times before he said, raping her.
I don't know.
Do you remember him saying, I'm only taking guesses now?
I don't remember that. The wounds on Mrs. Gibbons' abdomen and back, do you have an opinion with reasonable medical certainty as to what caused these wounds?
My opinion would be that this type of weapon is...
Objection. It isn't a weapon. It's a knife.
It's a weapon.
It's a knife.
It's a question of semantics. Let's refer to it as a knife.
My opinion would be that this knife is the instrument that would cause that kind of wound.
No more questions, Your Honor. The state of Connecticut rests.
The defense calls Peter Riley, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, please.
Mr. Riley, do you recognize this knife?
Yes.
Where did you get this knife?
My friend Cliff Parsons gave it to my mom because she complained once that she didn't have a good kitchen knife in the house.
What happened to the tip?
Last summer, Cliff and I were target shooting in the backyard, and Cliff used that knife to dig a slug out of an oak tree. The point broke off.
Score one for our side.
Now, Mr. Riley, I read to you State's Exhibits Z, AA, and BB, the purported confession. Quote, I remember slashing at my mother's throat with a straight razor used for my model airplanes. I ask you, Mr. Riley, is that statement your best memory of what happened that night?
No, it isn't.
Did you, in fact, slash at your mother's throat?
No, I did not.
Did you, in fact, kill your mother?
No, I did not.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Is that all Mildred's gonna ask Peter? If I were his lawyer, I'd keep him up there until the jury's heart broke.
Peter, in 1969 or 1970, did a man come to live at your house?
Yes.
And was he black?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this had to be a very trying thing for you, was it not? I mean, living with a man who was of another race in a tiny little house with your mother and you?
I guess.
Peter, could you tell me what you think your relationship was with your mother?
I loved her.
What the prosecution, the state, is offering you is a lighter sentence in exchange for your pleading guilty to a lesser charge.
It's called a plea bargain.
The reduced charge would be manslaughter. The sentence, 3 to 5 years.
I won't serve one day for something I didn't do.
This isn't like TV. I won't be able to point to somebody in the spectator section and say, that is the person who did it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, now you know what the questioning of Peter Riley was like at the hands of the police. After he had been told by the police that it was all right to kill his mother. After all, he was her victim. She wasn't his. After he had been drilled into believing he had a mental problem and that he could get help from his great friends of Bastian, Bragdon, and Miles, he signed these statements. He would have signed anything. He was there in isolation, in a topsy-turvy way. His world turned upside down. Although right up to the last, he says, I still don't think I did it. It's like I'm dreaming. I remember slashing with the razor I use for model airplanes. There was no blood whatsoever on this razor. It was in its normal place, on a shelf, clean and unused. There was no blood whatsoever on his clothing. No blood, no scratch, no bruise on his body. I submit to you, there is not only reasonable doubt that Peter Riley killed his mother. I submit it is impossible. I would submit that there is no verdict you can return other than not guilty.
I think she ran out of gas.
As she was, Barbara Gibbons. And there's no evidence that there was anyone in that house except Peter Riley. She had cuts on her stomach. And there was nobody in that house but Peter Riley. And that house, a dirty house, and a mother who had clearly turned into an alcoholic. When Barbara Gibbons was found murdered, she had a blood alcohol reading of .22, and she was under the influence. You will recall from Peter's statement that his mother was, quote, constantly on my back, unquote. Well, this had to be a pretty trying time for Peter Riley. Thus, it is not strange to me that he finally began to tell the police what really happened. He felt free at last. His burden was gone. Peter Riley told the police that I did it. I killed her. If there was ever a confession, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This case, like most criminal cases, is a difficult one. But I submit to you that the state of Connecticut has carried forth its burden. The statement that this youngster made contains these words: everything I said, I mean. And it's the truth. Thank you.
He really knows his stuff.
In spades.
Miss Carston, they want you back now.
That's it. Come on, Mr. Riley. Your presence is requested.
Wow, just like on TV.
Have you reached a verdict?
Not yet, Your Honor. But we have a request to make. The members of the jury would like to hear the actual tapes again.
Seems to me it was a straight razor. It may have been a knife. I don't know. I'm not too clear on that, so the straight razor seems clear to me.
Before we go home tonight, let's try one final ballot.
Oh, no.
Guilty. 5. Not guilty. And that leaves 3 of you now undecided. Let's call it a day.
I think we should talk more about this sexual overtone.
I have no criticism to make of the length of time you have been in conference. However, I feel it is my duty to give you whatever aid I can in reaching a verdict if you are having a problem. Although the verdict to which each juror agrees must, of course, be his own conclusion and not a mere acquiescence in the conclusions of his fellows. In order to bring 12 minds to a unanimous result, each juror should examine the questions with due regard and deference to the opinions of each other.
Your Honor, I object. You are employing what is called the Chip Smith charge. I've never heard of it being used unless a jury were deadlocked.
Objection overruled.
Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
Mildred, what did all that mean?
It was a famous case in the 1800s. Chip Smith was on trial for murder. The jury couldn't come to a decision, so the judge gave him a little push.
And what happened?
Chip Smith was hanged.
And what is your verdict?
Guilty, Your Honor. Guilty of manslaughter in the first degree.
I don't have any damn comment.
Listen, I knew it was manslaughter right from the very beginning. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Bracken. Set up a good case.
One more time.
That's it. Thank you all very much.
What was the attorney for?
Speak to Lieutenant Bracken.
Judge, if he was a tough old guy, he'd cream you for the slightest thing.
And I have here the letters from you people and others, and from Peter. I spent a great deal of last evening studying them. But, Peter, I do not find any remorse. I do not find any remorse here at all.
Your Honor, I do not think remorse is the word to apply. Mr. Riley has stated that he is innocent. I do not think remorse will be achieved by his incarceration. Rather, prison will destroy him. I ask for a suspended sentence. I know this is unusual, but this is an unusual case.
Peter Riley, do you have anything to say before sentence is imposed?
I will not be a threat to society. I just want a chance to lead a decent life.
This has been an extremely difficult case. The court is impressed with the outpouring of the defendant's friends in the community. But a human being has been killed. Therefore, it is the sentence of this court, Peter Riley, that you serve not less than 6 years in the penitentiary and not more than 16.
What?
It is also the decision of this court, Mr. Riley, that your bail be raised to $60,000 pending execution of this sentence.
I used to think black people were wrong when they said power to the people. Now I think they're right.
How could that jury have found him guilty? People keep asking me.
The law gave those dozen people the power to do what they did. There's no point in sitting around saying, how could the jury do it? They did it. That's the system we have.
Well, there's a dozen of us here, too. Maybe we can change the system.
I think we can.
3 years have come and gone since the murder of Barbara Gibbons. Much has transpired in the Riley case since that time. Joan Barthel, can you highlight some of the developments?
Well, after Peter's sentencing, I wrote a lot of people in Connecticut asking for help. Peter had a lot of famous neighbors.
Did you get that help?
Oh, yes. Mike Nichols and William Styron raised money for an appeal. Arthur Miller found a new lawyer and persuaded the New York Times to run 2 front-page articles. We got a lot of coverage on TV and in national magazines. And then finally, there was a hearing to determine whether or not Peter would get a new trial.
What happened at that hearing?
2 experts were brought in. A famous pathologist testified how physically impossible it would have been for Peter to have committed the murders in that short an amount of time. A famous psychiatrist testified, explaining Peter's personality, how easily influenced he could be by someone in authority.
Brainwashing, I believe, was the word that he used.
That's right, brainwashing.
And so what was the outcome of the hearing?
The same judge that had sentenced Peter so harshly agreed that under the weight of the new evidence, Peter was entitled to a new trial. And that's why we're here today.
Will there be justice for young Peter Riley? That's what these people have fought so long and so hard for. And that's the issue that's going to go before the court today. This time, a new prosecutor, a new defense counsel, and a new judge. Brad Willis, CBS News, Canaan, Connecticut.
To begin proceedings, Your Honor, at Peter Riley's trial, Nurse Pine testified that she received his call in the emergency room at 9:40 on the night of the murder. However, the state police testified that they received a call from her at 9:58. The time of this call is very important because if it had been at 9:40 p.m., it would place Peter alone at the house for at least 20 minutes. Nurse Pine. Is it true that you testified at the last hearing that you were on duty and took the call from Peter Riley about the accident to his mother the night of her death at approximately 9:40?
Yes, I did. I still remember it. 9:40, I'm sure. I looked at the time.
But the state police got a call from you at 9:58. This is a matter of record. Nurse Pine, what made you wait 18 minutes to call the police?
Well, I can't recall.
When you said you received the call at 9:40, I believe this statement to be false. Are you sure it was 9:40? Do you know of any other instances where you have waited 18 minutes in an emergency situation to notify the state police? Could it have been later than 9:40?
It could have.
Where was Peter Riley at 9:40? 2 other witnesses, a young couple who had been to the drive-in movies on the night of the murder, testified to Trooper Thomas that they saw Peter Riley in his car at a Canaan intersection at exactly 9:40 that same evening.
On your way home, you say you saw the boy in the car opposite and you can identify him as Peter Riley? That correct?
Yes, I'm positive that it was him because he used to come into Mendasucci's market where I was cashier there.
You can positively be sure that the time was 9:40?
Yes, we can. These statements were not produced at the trial, Your Honor. They support my contention that Peter Riley did not have enough time to murder his mother. On the basis of these statements, which the new prosecutor has just discovered and brought to the court's attention, I move that all charges against Peter Riley be dismissed.
The responsibility of those in the administration of justice, of course, is not just to win cases, but to see to it that justice is done. And when justice is done, everybody wins. I can quote from Daniel Webster, who, in his statement many years ago, he said this: "Justice, sir, is the great interest of man on earth. It is the ligament that holds civilized beings and civilized nations together." In order to write F-I-N-I-S to this case, I believe that it is in the best interest of justice that this case should be dismissed and the accused is discharged.
We won. We won.
cheers.
It's over.
What are you thinking about, Peter?
About my mom? I wish you could have known her. She was terrific.
Stay tuned. Next on True Entertainment, St. Augustine, Part 2. Alternatively on True Movies 1, Roots, The Next Generations, Part 2. And on True Movies 2, Sidney Sheldon's The Sands of Time, Part 1.